Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And gonna go over Extreme Rules this week. Was in my beloved hometown of Philadelphia. But before we get into that, do want to address big news. Especially for those who have been loyal fans and watched and seen on how this show has evolved over the years, no pun intended for what's coming up, but you know, now big huge announcement, do have new friends of the show, do want to give them a good big important shout out, and I do encourage, if you guys can and if it's something that you're interested in, please check them out and show them some love and support. You know, now, it is LFC, for those who may not be familiar, Lingerie Fighting Championships. It's a little bit of MMA, a little bit of wrestling, and a whole lot of women wearing a whole lot of nothing. Attractive women wearing skimpy outfits, cage fighting. My God, it's like somebody went into my mind and turned it into a reality. It is God bless America. So yeah, definitely encourage checking them out. Show these guys and the girls as well that fight some love and support. Info on LFC is down below, their website as well as their Twitter. Make sure y'all check them out. Big huge fans of theirs, as well as fans of what they do. Now, I'm not going to put out any hopes or anything, but, you know, may have something coming up down the road. You know, nothing anytime soon, still trying to figure stuff out with it, but we may have something coming down the road with them, or possibly one of their athletes. That said, now, other big news. Evolve Wrestling, Evolve 131 on the network. Oh my God, beautiful. Beautiful. It was a great show. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And you know, I know, again, a lot of people want to crap on the idea of, well, Evolve, WWE's just putting Evolve on to go against, you know, Fight for the Fallen. Okay, even if, and we'll just say if that is the case, I'll humor you on this argument. If, let me ask you this. What if Evolve was going to be on that very same night, that very same time, but instead of on the WWE Network, it would have been available through the normal means that the World Wrestling Network shows their programs? Would you say they are trying to steal viewers away from Fight for the Fallen? It's not a matter of that. And not only that, take that bitterness aside for a minute and just think about the benefits of that, because you are literally getting a show that is not under the WWE umbrella on their freaking system. That would be like if WCW back in their heyday had Starrcade and Vince McMahon was running the entire show for it. You know? Okay, bad analogy because Vince wouldn't be running it, but you guys know what I mean when I say with that kind of verbiage. Either way, it was a big step for them. Not only that, it gave a lot of talent, had a lot of chances, had a lot more eyes on a lot more talent. You know, I guarantee. How many people now have their eye on Austin Theory? How many people now have their eye on Shotzi Blackheart? How many, you know, I can't stress enough. Put your bitterness and your resentment towards promotions, not the wrestlers, but the promotion aside, and just enjoy the fact that these wrestlers are choosing to want to sign contracts and work for this company or that company. Forget about people trying to be like ATMs and buy and steal and raid talent from other companies. It's not going to be the case. And not only that, that type of mindset went out the door in 2001 when WCW shut down. Seriously. You know, no. Now, on to the other matter, Fight for the Fallen. Great show. You know, still, AEW still has some learning curves. You know, I'm not going to knock it. I'm going to say, not knocking it. I'm just calling like I see it. Still has some learning curves. They're building up. They're building up towards October when they get their weekly TV on TNT. And I still stand by the argument of wait about 4 to 6 months after the show airs on TNT before you start giving judgment on how it is, because that 4 to 6 months is going to be the honeymoon period where everyone's going to have their eyes glued to it and break it down frame by frame, half hour by half hour, and say, well, during this half hour segment the ratings were through the roof. Dude, nobody gives a fucking shit about that. Companies don't care about that shit. Okay? So just get over yourself with that fucking shit. Now, that said, now let's get on to Extreme Rules. Pre-show, Shinsuke Nakamura going against Finn Balor. Chaos versus Bullet Club in Philadelphia. God damn, that's lovely to hear. This was a great show. This was a great match. And I'm not talking just for pre-show, but great match. And that's why Vince McMahon won't take this show, because I sneeze. He hates sneezing. Yeah. Really great back and forth, you know, really great back and forth, striking match. It was just very nice, very clean. I dug the hell out of it. I thought this was a great way to start the show. Great way to set the tone for the show. Like, hey, we're going to have action like this, so be ready. Now the match came to an end. Finn, he went to go for the coup de grace. He went, missed, but didn't follow through to recover. Instead, landed, and then, ugh. Next thing you know, Nakamura capitalized, knee to the back of the head. Ran, knee to the back of the head, got into the other corner, sized up. Boom! King Sasha hits him. 1, 2, 3, and your new Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and he is now the second man in history to be IWGP Intercontinental and WWE Intercontinental Champion. First being, of course, Chris Jericho. Now, excuse me, ugh, jeez, fucking sinuses. Now, next matchup, we got Tony Nese, Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title. My homeboy Drew, and this really good pace. Loved on how the crowd was all going for Drew. Really great back and forth. Again, the cruiser, people want to shit on the idea about the Cruiserweights always being on the pre-show. I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't see that as an insult. Because if anything, here's the thing. If you're being told you're going to start the show, okay. You're going to be on the pre-show, okay. You know what then? The pre-show is free for everyone. It's the free-for-all. So they got it on like YouTube and shit. So they got the job to set the standard to make people want to do that last minute, oh, man, I really should invest in the network. I should sign up for that. Hold on, let me get online and do that shit now. Boom. It's their job to do that, and I applaud them for that. It is a great, these guys got massive talent, and I absolutely loved it. Gulak, he got the win doing like that torture rack neck breaker of his. Got the 1, 2, 3 on Nese, and the Philly crowd absolutely loved it. And also, I would just like to point out, Drew Gulak from Philly won a match in Philly. So, y'all still want to shit on the idea of always losing in your hometown? Now with that said, let's get to the main show. Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre going against Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. What? Why would this be the opening match for the actual pay-per-view? Well, very much so like the pre-show, now you have the main show, and why not start off with a bang? Why not? Not only that, this tag match is no holds bar. You have another tag match later on in the show. That's a no holds bar. Do you really want to put one after another and have a fluffer match in between them just to kill the momentum? This is booking 101. Give the crowd a good hot start. And here we go. Roman, I loved on how he was looking. Philly, my beloved hometown of Philadelphia, is very brutally honest with their with people they love and hate. Most notably, the memory for me, Lenny Dykstra of the Philadelphia Phillies, he wound up screwing up, and, we didn't get the series, and, man, we did not let that go from Lenny for a long time. But yeah, Roman, he looked really good, and the Philly crowd was all for him, which I was taken back on, because last time Roman was in Philly in a big time feel like this, he won the Royal Rumble, and then that's when the act of God came in and Raw got snowed out. Because, man, you could just imagine if that Raw did not get snowed out, and whew, oh man, that would have been ugly. That Raw would have been ugly. So yeah, Taker, oh my god, man. He looked amazing. He looked a million times better than he did with Goldberg. But this is probably the healthiest looking Taker I've seen Undertaker in a long while. Maybe the past 5 or 7 years. Not saying he physically looks, but the way he was moving in the ring, he was moving around like, okay, he's a lot healthier than he was any other time. And I know a lot of people shit on the idea, well, why still bring Undertaker back? He's in his 50s, he's in his mid-50s or something. Just let the man retire, this, that, and the other. Here's the thing. Undertaker, at this point in his career, yeah, he can choose when he does and doesn't want to go. Also, here's the other thing. I'm trying to think how to say this properly. If you're going to argue about the age, let's take a look at Chris Jericho, who is the hot internet sensation at the moment and AEW's soon-to-be future heavyweight champion. He's about 48, pushing 49. AJ Styles, he's in his early 40s. Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson just signed new contracts with WWE. They'll both be up by the time they're in their mid 40s. Y'all are going to argue about age. Y'all are willing to argue about age, but the second it's thrown out on boys that you like, next thing you know, y'all shut up real fast. So don't even try to do the age argument. Here's my philosophy. If they can still go, let them go. It's all in a matter of how you reinvent yourself, and if you have a character strong enough to pass the test of time like that, like Undertaker has, motherfucker, he could come out in a wheelchair and chokeslam someone and the crowd will still pop for it. Now, back to the match though, really good. Now, Roman, he wound up working as the punching bag for the team. And when Taker got the hot tag in, man, the crowd went nuts. Taker cleaned house. Big surprise on it though. Well, actually 2 big surprises. One, if it's a no-holds-barred match, why the hell do they have to tag each other in and out? That was my one. That's the only thing I can honestly take from this match that I will complain on. Other than that, the next thing that I'm bringing up, the smelly hipster showed up, Elias. Yeah. Elias showed up, cracked the guitar on Taker's back, started helping out Shane and Drew, started cleaning house, picked up the neck, looked like he was getting ready to jab it into Taker's head. Taker, clears him out, clears out, and all that. Now, the fight between Drew and Taker, that was tense. You could feel the shift in the air when that happened. Like the crowd just, oh damn, this is gonna be nuts. Yeah, absolutely love that. Now, match wound up eventually coming to an end when Taker, he did the choke slam onto Shane, got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. And then afterwards, Taker just looking at Roman, patting him on the shoulder, looking at him like, did good, kid. Go earn your spot. You earned your spot. Show everyone why you earned it. And kind of left him like that. So, next matchup, we got the Revival against the Usos for the Revival's coveted Raw Tag titles. Really, and you know, I will say this, the one big thing that I took away from this show, there was back and forth action through the entire show. And I absolutely love that. It wasn't so much one match where this guy was one-sided or that guy was one-sided. No, it was back and forth. There was a lot of back and forth in on this show in general, and it was great on that. I absolutely loved it. Now the Usos, for obvious reasons, since it was a tag match, they were the punching bag, you know. So can't really do too much as far as that goes. Now, when they got the hot tag, they started cleaning house. They started to build up some momentum. Match eventually comes to an end though. With Revival hitting a shatter machine, getting the 1, 2, 3 clean. I dug the hell out of this. Revival, their work. They are some of the best damn heel tag. They are the best damn heel tag teams WWE's got. I ain't even joking. I absolutely fucking love these guys. They remind me of the Brain Busters. They remind me of Arn and Tully so much. And I love the fact that they got that old school feel. You know. Next matchup, we got Cesaro going against Alister Black. And this, very fast-paced action right at the start. Very physical. Absolutely loved it. Alister with the striking blows. Cesaro playing to the power. Biggest jaw-dropping moment in this match was, hands down, Alister went up from the top, went to go and do Meteora. Cesaro caught him, took a few steps, got to the middle of the ring, tossed him up in the air, and then boom, hit him with the uppercut. Oh my God. This is why I swear, Cesaro, he is hands down one of my favorites. You know, the guy constantly shows amazing feats of strength and agility. Now the guy, for a guy his size and build, he's able to do a 619, a Tiger Fling kick. Now granted, it may not look as smooth and crisp as Io Shirai's or Rey Mysterio's, but for a guy his size and build to be able to execute that kind of a move, that's like seeing a guy 400 or like 300 plus pounds doing a moonsault, you know? It just, wow. Now, match came to an end with Black Black hitting the Black Mass, getting the 1, 2, 3 on that. Rightfully so, because let's face facts, if Alister would have lost on this, it would have just had everyone sitting there bitching and crying, and the only ones who use the logical part of their brains when watching wrestling would just sit there and think, alright, well, where does he go from here? yeah, unfortunately, not many people tend to do that. They tend to think on just, they don't tend to think in that sense in a logical way. Next up, we got women's action. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, which, man, tell you, if Alexa wasn't in WWE, I highly would have recommended she go and check out LFC. But, going up against Bayley, 2-on-1 handicap match. Now, before the match even started, 2-on-1 stomping on Bayley at the start. Really good, frequent tags in and out with each other. Absolutely love that. This was a good match, and, you know, here's the thing. I tend to shit on handicap matches a lot because they don't get done right and not executed proper, because if, from a psychology sense, if you have a 2-on-1, these two are going against the one, boom, boom, boom. They should have the advantage, therefore they should win. If the one person wins, then that's saying that those two guys were so weak and so inferior that they couldn't get the job done. But it's not always the case, and if you execute it right, it can tell a good story either way. Now, Bayley won the match. She did Hail to the Queen, elbow drop, shades of the Macho Man, dang it, from onto Nikki Cross. But the way it was done, that's where I'm retracting shitting on it. Because one, they told a good story in the ring with the action and the way they carried it. And two, the fact that, you know, it was Nikki that took the loss without Alexa nearby. So it plays to the Nikki Cross Alexa Bliss angle that they're working with. Nikki is so blind with being Alexa's friend that she's, well, for lack of a better term, it's almost like she's got Stockholm, you know? So, yeah. Next up, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman in a last man standing match. And this was a damn good match. One thing I did like that I dug the hell out of with Braun, he showed more, the little nuances. You know, he wasn't moving as fast as he normally does. He was striking. But he was showing he was a little more gassed and winded. You know, whether he was doing that real or not, I don't know, and I can care less. But the fact that he did it impressed the hell out of me, because now you're just looking at it like, well, damn, he really is selling that going through the wall thing and getting electrocuted. Because, just, fuck, you know? Now, Lashley, he was pretty much, Lashley, I loved on how he was dominating this. For pretty much, he was leading the match. But it was great action all around. And I absolutely love that. Match came to an end. Braun Strowman, they were up. And now, before I get to the end, I got to stress, this match took place literally everywhere in the arena. Everywhere. It went from the ring to the crowd to the concessions to the merchandise tables, through the crowd, through to, you know, near the ring again, up into the stands. And I'm not talking floor level stands. I'm talking like higher up ones, like your mid-level stands. And next thing you know, Braun busts open a gate, picks up Lashley, power slams him down through it, and then next thing you know, everyone's like, "Oh my God! Oh my God, what happened? They're both down, they're both down!" And then the ref starts doing the count, and you see Braun break a wall, go through like, busting through like the Kool-Aid Man at like the count of 7 or something, and then getting, so Strowman, he gets the big W, he gets the win. Next up, we got New Day, Heavy Machinery, and Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan for the SmackDown Tag Titles. And this right here, now, I will say this. Daniel Bryan's a hypocrite. Because when he was world champion, he had a organic hemp title with natural wood, naturally fallen wood for his championship. Yet when he's carrying the SmackDown title, it's one made of leather and metal. If he truly cared for the planet as much as he says he does, he would invest in a tag title very much so the same way. So, that said, let's get into this match. Bryan and Rowan were pretty much leading it. I will say that. There was good action. And I cannot stress this enough. Heavy Machinery, they are growing on me. I am digging them. I'm liking them. More so because of Tucker Knight. He is, I swear to God, he is not a dude you want to sleep on. Because this cat, if and when they ever do singles, you know, you book this guy right, he is going to shoot. And I'm not even kidding. Now, this was a really good match. Really loved it. You know, match came to an end when New Day hit the spiked big ending on Daniel Bryan and got the 1-2-3. So now the New Day are now 6-time tag team champions, and technically, since the New Day goes by the Freebird rule, Kofi Kingston is now a dual champion, being WWE World Heavyweight and now SmackDown Live Tag Champion. So, there's some useless bar trivia for you. Next up, we got Uncle Alan, AJ Styles with the Good Brothers going against Ricochet for Ricochet's coveted United States Championship. The Good Brothers proceed to give Ricky a beatdown before the bell, and Styles, he was leading good at the start, and then the way Styles, man, I tell you, heel Styles I absolutely love, because he's very much so aggressive, and the way he was going in this match, he had an answer for everything Ricochet was throwing at him. And it's not, and you know, Ricochet, he was fighting, he was putting everything he had into it. He had his heart and soul in this, every which way, shape, and form. But Uncle Alan had an answer for everything he threw at him. You know, that's all it was. Match wound up eventually coming to an end when, just as Ricochet was getting some momentum, ref was arguing with Karl Anderson. Ricochet's up, getting ready to go and hit the 630. Luke Gallows sweeps the leg. Ricky winds up splitting the difference. Styles goes up, hits him with a Styles Clash from the second rope. 1, 2, 3, and AJ Styles is now your new 3-time United States Champion. So now we come to Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, and folks, I kid you not, this was like a 7-second match. Second the bell rang, boom, boom. Owens hit a stunner. That was it, and then he got the pin. That fast. Now, according to the dirt sheets and that fuck knuckle Meltzer, rumor is he's supposed to be getting pushed and moved in the same way Stone Cold did. But you know, let's face it, anytime any wrestler starts making promos or talking about on how they don't like the on-screen authority figures or on how they hate the McMahons or anything like that, everyone automatically starts saying, oh well, they're making them like Steve Austin. No! You don't have to be like Stone Cold to not like your boss. For crying out loud, when I was 19 as a bag boy in the bag boy union. I hated my boss. My last day, I looked at him. I told him to go fuck himself up the ass with a rusty hammer. Does that mean I was like Stone Cold? No. Hopefully, though, this does lead Owens to getting a push, you know, to a more serious push, possibly chasing after, you know, not saying going for a title, but more leading him to be more on TV and having more stronger stories. Next up, we got Samoa Joe going against Kofi, and Joe, he went in this going in ugly. This was an, there are two kinds of ass whoopings out there in wrestling. Your normal getting put on the ass end of an ass whooping wrestling, and then getting put on the ass end of an ass whooping wrestling by Samoa Joe. And Kofi was put on the ass end of an ass whooping by Joe. But this was no joke, and I'll say this, Kofi, he held his own. Although I did cringe at one point when Joe, he went to sweep the leg, and it looked like Kofi's knee hyperextended, or, he caught his kneecap, and just, ooh. It was an ugly sweep. I was afraid for Kofi for a minute there, but, it was a good match. Kofi, he fought really valiantly. I absolutely loved it. He's got that I'm proving I'm worthy of being a champion kind of fight. And I absolutely love that. Kofi eventually got the win, hitting the Trouble in Paradise, 1, 2, 3. And so now this just leaves the question, is this going to make Joe... This is just going to make Joe more hungry and more dangerous. So maybe we'll get a rematch with these two at SummerSlam? Question mark. So now we come to the main event of the night. Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans going against Seth and Becky. And man, good action right at the start. Becky pretty much tagged herself in when she went to get in on the action. And there was really great action on both ends, from the guys and the girls. This was just really good action all around, I will say that. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I shit on Corbin. I do. I shit on Corbin. I ain't a fan of his. I ain't a fucking fan of his. I don't like his shit. He moves it around like any other 6'7" gorilla who, called WWE 5 times a day for 3 months straight asking for a job, asking for a tryout. But, yeah. He's there, he's working, so I can't, he's there, he's working, he's going to put on it to entertain me. I'll give him respect on that much. But that's about it. Other than that, though, just, yeah. Lacey, whew, good Lord Almighty. Female Marine, whew. Them female Marines, it's going to do the end. Where are my heart pills? Where's my damn heart pills? Yeah. Whew, damn. Now, big spot everyone popped for was at one point Seth and Becky both had Singapore canes. They started cracking them on Lacey and Corbin, and then next thing you know, they started doing it. They looked at each other like, and it was like a Pulp Fiction moment, like, yeah. And then they proceeded to go at it some more. And then eventually there was tables out there. Lacey got laid out. Baron got put up. Becky did a leg drop to Lacey, and then Seth did a frog splash onto Corbin. Match came to an end. Corbin, he wound up dragging up Lacey in, hit the end of days on her, which, like, you could hear every last person in the building, like the air gets sucked out of the arena. Not in a negative way, but it was like, that just happened? And then you just see Seth get fired up like, motherfucker, did you just put your hands on my woman? He proceeded to beat the shit out of Corbin and hit him with 3 curb stomps back to back to back. Got the 1, 2, 3. Then Brock came down, beat the shit out of Seth. Then cashed in and is now, then F5 and is now your new 3-time Universal Champion. Seth did win a #1 Contenders Battle Royal on Raw, so now Seth and Lesnar are going to go at it at SummerSlam. Too early to tell who I think's going to win there. Got to let the promos build up some, see on how the action's going to lead into it. So yeah. That is it for this week's show, folks. Again, big, huge shout out to two new good friends of the show, LFC, Lingerie Fighting Championship. Check out their information. It's down below. Also, as per the normal. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on my Twitter, Tim Vicious. You also got another account, Tim_Vicious, if I get ghosted or put in Twitter jail. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you're going to look for me on my Facebook gimmick, make sure you'll let me know you found me on there from here. Or on my Twitter at Tim Vicious, so I don't think you got your creep John going. Also, folks, make sure y'all check out these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Cranky Asshole, Dazzy MWP, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, like I always say, y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.